Hello and welcome to another action-packed day of history. This is Xander Drury and this is the penultimate Chalke Valley History Festival podcast, bringing you all the latest festival news at a click of a mouse. Now, what a kick-off to the CVHF weekend it was, with clear blue skies drawing out the best of the spectacular surroundings. The largest crowd of the week so far came to sample the 20 events on offer. On top of the huge amount of talks and speakers of the highest calibre in Eden Field and beyond, we were lucky to be part of Pike and Shot's live historical recreations throughout the day, from insights into life on the Western Front to the clashing of swords and shields. Moreover, to put the icing on the historical cake, we were treated to a flying Spitfire overhead as the aerial theatrics gripped both young and old. Now, kicking proceedings off this morning was one of the most hotly anticipated events of the festival, with its tickets selling faster than any other. And after 5 minutes of Martin Brown's interactive talk, it was easy to see why. Illustrator of the Horrible History series, which is now an international phenomenon, Martin has combined with writer Terry Drury to sell over 25 million copies of their books over the last 20 years. With hordes of young children sat engrossed at the front, Martin described the goriest bits of history through some wonderfully ridiculous cartoons and drawings. I managed to catch Martin just after. What are your thoughts on talk then this morning?
It was great. It was really good fun. I tried to do a few different things, and it was a great audience. It's always extraordinarily lovely to come here.
Yeah.
It's so inspiring, and I was lucky enough to be able to use a couple of World War I chaps who came up on stage, and then to finish off we had a couple of gladiators on stage too. So, I mean, as far as a visual spectacle, it was great fun. For me, I don't know about the audience.
I mean, this is your second time at the festival. What do you think of it coming back, sort of bigger and even more ambitious this year?
Oh, it's marvellous. I mean, where do you stop? I mean, it's such a fabulous idea. I think, I wouldn't be surprised at all if this is copied throughout the land. A bespoke history festival like this is such a good idea. I don't know why it hasn't been thought of before. But no, I'm going to get out of my good stuff and become a punter now and wander around and enjoy it just for its own sake. Yeah.
So, what do you attribute to the huge success of the Horrible Histories? I mean, it is massive. Why do people love it so much?
I think it's not just because it's funny, but it is, or gory, because it's that too. And the kids like the stuff about toilets and blood and heads chopped off. But, I think fundamentally they're sort of serious. And the people who copy us and other similar books, they kind of do history with gags. But we've kind of got a message, I don't know. We comment on history, we talk about how cruel it is, and how perhaps we haven't been the kindest people that we could have been, the sort of people that we've been in the past.
Yeah.
And because we comment on history like that, because we come back to how serious it is, I think perhaps there's an underlying message about history that other books kind of miss out on.
Yeah.
The people who sometimes slag us off because we're sort of just take the mickey, sometimes I don't think have read them and don't get that underlying seriousness of it.
Yeah, I mean, because someone like myself, I've grown up with horrible histories,
maybe you feel old. Go on.
But how does that make you feel? I mean, so many people must, say this all the time, that they've grown up with it. I mean, it's part of their childhood.
Well, I hate to say this almost, but next year we're going to be celebrating our 20th anniversary.
Wow.
Which is wonderful and sort of scary at the same time. But no, we're really proud of it. We've got boys reading, and we've got kids across the board. The queue for the signing now was wonderful because there was an equal mix of boys and girls, young and old, parents. I mean, it's been wonderful. I don't know whether it's luck or good planning or a bit of both.
Because, I mean, when in the tent there must have been, 600 people in there, children, young and old. You could see them probably engaged. I mean, do you think that teaching history in this country at the moment, generally in the world, is wrong? Or
No, I mean it's really easy to just, bang on about teaching's this and teaching's that. I've got nothing but the highest respect for teachers. They have to do an awful lot with very little, often in classes in 30. Look, if I was in charge of the thing, I'd spend millions on the education system, because that's the future of the nation.
Yeah.
30 kids in a class, try 15. That's why private schools are successful, not because they've got billions of dollars. It's because they can do this one-to-one teaching. They can do bespoke teaching for the kids. Yeah, they've got the resources, but why not do that for the rest of us?
Yeah.
We shouldn't have a second-class education like that. Second-class versions of teaching. The teachers in the state system are marvellous. And history, there's thousands of ways of learning history. And there's wonderful stories. They often say, you couldn't make it up. Well, no, you couldn't. Non-fiction has the best stories.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, how easy was it to get into this illustrating? I mean, being a professional.
Easy, because I'd always loved doing it from a kid. I love doodling and drawing and cartooning and such, and getting into drawing via cartooning is a brilliant way to do it, because the pressure's off. It doesn't matter if your horse doesn't look precisely like a horse. Horses are hard. By being silly even, it just allows you to have fun, and if you have fun doing it, then you're going to do it more, and the more you do it, the better you're going to get. Everything I learnt about drawing, all the technique, all the technical stuff, I learnt through cartooning.
Just doodling, yeah. I mean, so what would your best tip be to next Martin Brown sitting at home listening to this?
Have fun. Because if you're going to have fun, you're going to do it more often. And don't get too wound up if it doesn't look right, whatever that is. Who cares?
Yeah.
I mean, just enjoy the process, just like you do anything else, whether it's sport or music or singing. If you enjoy it, you'll do it.
Yeah. Anyway, Martin, thanks very much for your time today. And
it's a pleasure. Thank you very much.
Have a good day. A tremendous enthusiasm for drawing, which really was infectious. Thanks again to Martin. Next up was another household name as one of the most eminent writers and cultural commentators in the country. Simon Jenkins, former editor of both the Evening Standard and the Times, afforded some time to visit today and discuss his short history of England, returning to old-fashioned history-telling, as he puts it, by linking all episodic tableaus of history together. Told with his usual flair, humour and authority, it was a riveting talk, and I was lucky enough to chat to him for a couple of minutes as he was leaving. Simon, thanks very much for joining us today. First of all, thoughts on the festival thus far? It's your first time here.
Well, I've only just arrived. I can't say much about it except I'm amazed by its size.
Yeah.
And it's clearly its popularity. I think it's the most wonderful place to have a festival in the valley, in the bottom of a valley like this. It's a beautiful place. I'm overwhelmed.
Absolutely. Well, you've been talking today about the short history of England. First of all, why England, not Britain? Was it very important to specify?
Yes, I was trying to write about England, quite simply. And I regard England as a distinctive place. It's different from Britain. I was trying to separate out England from the other components of Britain. We used to talk about the British Empire, we don't do that anymore. I think we should stop talking about the whole of the British Isles if it was one separate state. England is a country. I tried to tell the story of England.
And you made a lot of trying to get away from